Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now. This is the newspaper show and I'm Hina Gambhir. This is one show that tells you everything that's making headlines this morning on the Times of India, the Economic Times and the Navbharat Times. So let's get started with the Times of India this morning. And the big story that this one is leading with is what Prime Minister Modi said yesterday. Prime Minister addressed the nation at 4 o'clock yesterday and he said rising negligence is a cause of worry, and he has also urged caution as from today onwards Unlock Phase 2 begins, which means more and more relaxations will be given to people across the country. Slide in personal social behavior since Unlock 1, that was his observation. He says, don't be careless, use a face cover. Prime Minister's Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, providing free ration to 80 crore people, will be extended till Chhath Puja by November end. Scheme extension will cost the government about 90,000 crore rupees. If expenses of past months are included as well, then the total spend will be around 1.5 lakh crore rupees. He also said that the government is working on One Nation, One Ration card, migrant workers to be the biggest beneficiaries. He has also appealed to citizens not to be careless, follow the mantra of Do Gaj Ki Duri, and always use a gamcha, a face cover and a mask, whatever is available with you. He has requested citizens to take care of themselves as country enters season in which cold, cough, fever cases go up. Monsoon season is also going to be extremely critical. He has also called for special focus on containment zones. He has appealed to citizens who see someone flouting norms to tell them not to do so. And what's interesting is that when he was speaking yesterday, he did talk about that how his Bulgarian counterpart was fined 13,000 rupees by the ministry because he was not wearing the face mask. So in a way indicating that if you don't wear your face mask or any kind of a face cover, then be ready for some kind of an action of that sort. And then Prime Minister has extended free ration plan to 80 crore poor till November. Another big story here. India's app ban a setback to global ambitions of Chinese tech giants. Their big worry, other countries may follow suit. That's the another big story here. Apple, Google want firm order. App ban may not significantly hit the revenues of Chinese firms, but will be a setback as India is seen as a major growth market. TikTok and Club Factory, among others, plan to clarify their positions to government. They say they are fully compliant with all the rules. In fact, a statement came from Chinese embassy as well. That's also mentioned here. It says India's measure selectively and discriminatorily aims at certain Chinese apps on ambiguous and far-fetched grounds, runs against fair and transparent procedure requirements, abuses national security exceptions, and suspects of violating WTO rules. That was G. Rong from Chinese embassy. Apart from this, uphold rights of international investors. This is what Beijing has said. Chinese app makers decided to approach government to clarify their position. And then more bad news came yesterday for China after United States of America declared Huawei and ZTE as security threats and banned China-backed news apps. This is what Indian publishers have said. Then PLA has put up signage on Pangong Bank to claim it as Chinese land. India has told PLA pull back from the conflict sites. Then there's an update about the national capital. Number of cases in city rising as we are testing more. This is what Manish Sisodia, Delhi's Deputy Chief Minister, has told Times of India in an interview. Data shared by Delhi government shrinks even as cases and deaths rise. Apart from this, for the national capital, there's another news. STMC may allow open-air dining in restaurants. That's something that's being considered. India has recorded 4 lakh cases and 12,000 deaths in the month of June only. And this is a very interesting analysis of the number of COVID cases, how in June we saw about 4 lakh cases and 11,988 deaths. May only had 1,50,000 cases. April just had 33,248 cases. And from today onwards, Unlock Phase 2 begins. Prime Minister has said that the onus is now on the citizens to ensure that we win this war against coronavirus. 2 killed, 2 injured as Sudan hits them in Rohini. 2 die, 4 in hospital after a gas leak that happened in a Vizag plant. This is the second gas leakage that has happened in the last couple of weeks. COP confirms TN torture. First time Railways run Super Anaconda. Indian Railways on Monday ran a 3-kilometer long Super Anaconda 177 wagons by clubbing 3 freight trains together in Odisha. It is the first time that a train of this length has been operated. This train carried 15,000 tons of coal to Rourkela. Then pressure is mounting on PM Oli to quit, and Jharkhand writer has won Commonwealth Story Prize. That's another story. Improved education reduces fertility rate. And then there are a couple of more interesting stories on Times of India's front page only. India's wettest June in 12 years, 18% rain surplus across India, 30% in central region. Visa processing for UK will resume from 6th of July. India's current account deficit swings to rare surplus. Till now we were just talking about deficit. Core sector decline slows to 23% in May. Caller warns of 26/11 style hit at Mumbai's Taj hotels. A woman who was 80 years old dead for days in Malvinagar apartment in the national capital. And lastly, 196 crore cyber safety center at IIT Kanpur. So that's about the Times of India this morning. Let's move on and get you the latest from the Navbharat Times. और यहाँ पर जो पहली बड़ी खबर है वो है जो प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने कल कहा था, दिवाली छठ तक रोशन रहेगी गरीब कल्याण योजना, 80 करोड़ लोगों को मुफ्त अनाज दिया जाएगा। फ्री राशन योजना को विस्तार, उसको एक्सपैंड कर दिया गया है। गरीब कल्याण अन्न योजना को 5 महीने का विस्तार। विपक्ष ने फैसले को अक्टूबर-नवंबर में बिहार चुनाव से जोड़ने की कोशिश की है। पश्चिम बंगाल ने मुफ्त राशन की योजना जून 2021 तक बढ़ाने का ऐलान किया। वहां अगले साल अप्रैल में चुनाव होने हैं। लॉकडाउन में गंभीरता से नियमों का पालन हुआ था। अनलॉक 1 से लापरवाही बढ़ती जा रही है, ये प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने कल कहा था। इसके साथ ही कोरोना की वैक्सीन पहले किसे मिलेगी, प्रधानमंत्री ने तय किया। प्रधानमंत्री ने कोरोना पर वैक्सीन की तैयारियों का मंगलवार को जायजा लिया। तय हुआ है कि हेल्थ केयर जैसे जिन फ्रंटलाइन वर्कर को बीमारी की सबसे ज्यादा खतरा है, उनका टीकाकरण सबसे पहले होगा। अब जैसे जैसे वैक्सीन के डेवलपमेंट में अब मूवमेंट आगे हो रही है, बढ़ रही है, तो ये भी अब डिसीजन लिया जा रहा है सरकार की तरफ से कि जब वैक्सीन बनेगी तो सबसे पहले वो किसे दी जाएगी और किस तरह से उसको पूरे देश में बांटा जाएगा। उत्तराखंड में खुलेंगे मंदिर और मॉल, गुजरात बंगाल में भी छूट मिलेगी। आज से जो अनलॉक 2 शुरू हो रहा है। एप्स पर बैन से बौखलाया चीन। बिजली पानी की सब्सिडी, बसों में महिलाओं का फ्री सफर जारी रहेगा, ऐसा कहना है मनीष सिसोदिया, डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर का। एक स्पेशल इंटरव्यू यहां पर भी किया है। अस्पतालों में घटे कोरोना के मरीज। राजधानी दिल्ली में जो अस्पताल में भर्ती लोग हैं, मरीज हैं कोरोना के, उनका नंबर अब धीरे धीरे कम आ रहा है। शवों के साथ बदसलूकी का एक वीडियो वायरल हो गया है। ये कर्नाटक के बेल्लारी से आया है। सरकारी मकानों की लाइसेंस फीस में बढ़ोतरी कर दी गई है। मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग में ईडी की अहमद पटेल से कल फिर से पूछताछ की गई और कल दूसरा दिन था और अभी एक दिन और पूछताछ उनकी की जाएगी वीरवार को। साथ ही विशाखापट्टनम में गैस लीक होने से 2 लोगों की मौत हो गई है। सो दिस इज अबाउट द नवभारत टाइम्स दिस मॉर्निंग। लेट्स नाउ मूव ऑन एंड गेट यू द लेटेस्ट फ्रॉम द Economic Times, and here also 2 big stories are there. One, what Prime Minister Modi said yesterday, and second, it's an analysis of what next after India decided to ban 59 Chinese apps. So let's begin with what the Prime Minister said first. As country enters Unlock 2.0, PM extends free ration scheme till end of November. He has asked authorities to strictly implement penalties for social distancing violations. He says there is a drive to protect the lives of 130 crore countrymen, be it a village pradhan or Prime Minister. No one is above the law. Those not following the rules will need to be stopped and cautioned. And apart from this, yesterday, a lot of interesting macroeconomic data was also released. For example, fiscal deficit data came out. It stood at 58.6% of target in just 2 months. India's fiscal deficit has hit 58.6% of the budgeted estimate at the end of first 2 months of FY21 on muted revenues hit by lockdown. More and more spending by the government is happening, and that's the reason why this has happened. Then core sector growth has come down again. Core sector shrinks at slower pace. India's core sector contracted at a slower pace in May compared with April. The index of 8 core industries slipped 23.4% on a year-on-year basis, and only fertilizer sector saw positive growth in the month of May out of these 8 core sectors. Then 48-hour deadline from issue of notice. Chinese apps must prove to government panel that they aren't exporting data. Officials from MHA and other ministries are going to be a part of this panel. This meeting is expected today. App firms say that they are ready to cooperate. This is an opportunity for these 59 Chinese firms as well, these apps which have been banned, to give their side of the story to the government. Then most people in the country welcomed this move by the government. They say this is a big opportunity for local players. Indian entrepreneurs and homegrown VC investors have backed the ban on Chinese apps, terming it a big opportunity for local firms, Indian entrepreneurs, and some big India Inc. people also welcomed this. Then US-India trade bodies say investors are jittery. Stalling of Chinese imports is creating business uncertainty. Then Pak moves 20,000 soldiers to Gilgit-Baltistan LOC. That's another story. And there's an interview with Prahlad Joshi, the coal minister of the country. He says coal sale without strings in 5 years. Then Tata Sons may infuse funds into Europe's steel business. And Airtel may sell 20% in Nixtra to Carlyle. Lastly, SBG Cleantech taps Brookfield for up to $600 million funding. Investment could be a mix of mezzanine debt as well as equity. And then this is a very interesting graphic by the Economic Times. Extended lockdowns offer diminishing returns. Unlock 2.0 kicks in today, but states such as Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu have extended their lockdowns, while others like Karnataka, West Bengal have tightened the restrictions. This comes as India has been adding nearly 20,000 COVID cases in a day, yet extensive lockdowns, even statewide ones, may not be the best strategy. So they are against it, and it is an analysis. They say that lockdown slowed pandemic but didn't stop it. Disease is progressing at varying pace across regions. Countries can close borders, but India's states cannot. Large informal sector makes lockdown difficult. Cost of another nationwide lockdown could be catastrophic. According to Barclays, the cost could be about $306 billion. And lastly, big population has to be given essentials if you are extending lockdown. A very interesting analysis that has been done. Let's now move on and be more city specific, and my colleague Sherin is joining us on the broadcast to get us latest from the national capital. Sherin, good morning. So what's making headlines as far as Delhi edition of Times of India this morning is concerned?
Well, it is, of course, the interview that the Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia has given to Times of India, where he has in fact mentioned that the number of cases that are in fact increasing in the national capital is because of the testing. Now, if you see yesterday, Hina, there were about, when we talk about the RCTC PCR tests, there were about 9,000, over 9,000 was conducted in 24 hours. The antigen tests were conducted around 7,000, over 7,000. So in a day itself, we are seeing around 18 to 19,000 samples are tested on a daily basis in the national capital. So the Deputy Chief Minister has been saying that this is the reason why there is an increase in the number. There is nothing to be worried about. There's nothing. This is not a panic situation. The situation is, in fact, they have been saying, is under control now. Keeping the rising number of cases, they have in fact arranged over 15,000 beds, but now they are saying that only 8,000 of them are in fact occupied. Even in the isolation centers, beds are vacant because the recovery rate is also very high. They have been saying that 26,000 patients are the only active cases, and the rest are in fact cured and discharged. So that should be what should be observed when we talk about the Delhi number, is what the Deputy Chief Minister is saying.
All right. Thank you very much, Sherin, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. And of course, our viewers can get that entire exclusive interview with Manish Sisodia in the Delhi edition of the Times of India today. Let's now move on and talk about the Mumbai edition of the Times of India. My colleague Arunil is joining us on the broadcast for more on this. Arunil, good morning. Thane, KDMC and MBMC areas have declared 10-day total lockdown. How is it different from what Maharashtra government has decided for the entire state?
Well, statistically, Hina, if we look at it, these satellite cities, basically Thane, the Kalyan Dombivli Municipal Corporation, as well as the Mira Bhayandar, they basically have encountered a 3 times increase in the number of cases as compared to the main metropolis of the city of Mumbai. The cases have risen in these satellite cities at a rate of 287%, whereas in Mumbai it has risen at a rate of 93%. So that is the difference. And because of that, the municipal corporations have decided that for 10 days, complete lockdown will be in place. Nothing except for essential services will be open in these satellite cities. With respect to Mumbai is concerned, non-essential shops are also open. Yes, stricter norms have been put in place. Movement of people are allowed only in the 2-kilometer periphery of their residence, and several other activities are also allowed, like workouts in open grounds is also been allowed in the city of Mumbai. But all these activities are not permitted in these satellite cities. One important point, Hina, last point that I want to make: the number of cases that have risen. At present, there are close to 1,75,000 cases in the state of Maharashtra. In June itself, 1,07,000 cases have been added in 1 month. 1,07,000 cases have been added in the state of Maharashtra. So yes, stricter norms will be required and are put in place across Maharashtra with this
Thank you very much, Arunil, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. In fact, there's also an important update from the Mumbai edition of the Times of India. Rashes, nausea, backache are the new COVID red flags. So these appear to be new sort of symptoms that have now started emerging. Let's now move on and get our viewers the latest from the Kolkata edition of the Times of India this morning. Tamal Saha, my colleague, is joining us on the broadcast. Tamal, good morning. So the private operators have said that fare should be revised or let the government run buses.
Well, you know, Hina, it's one of the toughest decisions the state of Mamata Banerjee government has taken in the recent past. She had been urging these 6,000 private bus operators since unlock phase had started to regulate their operations, even though they had been, you know, the state government had been empathetic to the situation of rising fuel prices. The private operators had been demanding the fare hike, something the state government had dismissed at this point in time, because the state government principally had always taken populist decision, and this could be one of them, where people should not be made to suffer by paying extra fare. Amidst this crisis, thus the state government did not approve any fare hike of private bus operators. Yesterday, Mamata Banerjee has made it very clear that the state government has announced a compensation of 15,000 rupees per bus operator for the next 3 months, for which the state has allocated 27 crore rupees. If the private operators do not comply with this request, then the state government would be taking over all these private buses, and the state would be running them. The private operators are now also mulling over the idea of taking the legal route to counter the state government's decision.
Thank you very much, Tamal, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. Let's now move on to the Bengaluru edition of the Times of India. And this morning, the big news is that there will be no new relaxation. Schools and colleges in Karnataka will remain shut till 31st of July, something that MHA has also ordered. In a huge boost, private medical colleges in Bengaluru to allot 50% beds for COVID patients. That's another story. And we will also be going across to my colleague from Bengaluru, Deepak Bopanna, joining us on the broadcast this morning. Deepak, good morning. Experts are batting for home quarantine.
Yes, you earlier mentioned that medical colleges have decided that they'll be giving 50% of the beds. Total about 4,000. Private hospitals too have decided that they will be giving a portion of their beds, about 40 to 45%, about 2,000 beds. That's about 6,000 apart from the government hospital facilities that are available. So it's going to be very interesting to note how are they going to accommodate the number of cases that Bengaluru now is seeing. After a very timid start, now we're looking at an explosion of sorts in Bengaluru and Karnataka. So the necessity for the beds is going to be increasing, and that's where right now they're mulling that home quarantine for people with very mild symptoms is probably the way forward, like states like Delhi or Mumbai is doing, because they do not have really beds to facilitate people with mild or low symptoms.
All right. Thank you very much, Deepak, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. Let's now move on and get our viewers the latest from the Chennai edition of the Times of India. And here, the High Court has made it very, very clear that there's enough proof to try police for murder. This is the latest in the Tuticorin case. My colleague Shilpa joining us on the broadcast this morning from Chennai. Shilpa, now there's another important story. Liquor sales, Puducherry's loss is TN's gain. In fact, Tasmac wine shops in Cuddalore and other regions near Pondicherry are witnessing a spike in liquor sale. And apart from this, Times of India is also reporting, Shilpa, this morning that despite DGCA order, airlines and travel porters are not giving refunds to customers.
Well, that's right. In fact, there are some problems with respect to domestic flying as well. Several passengers are, of course, complaining that they are not getting refunds. But nevertheless, as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, yesterday alone, there were 3,943 new cases of coronavirus that were reported from the state, and 2,393 cases were from Chennai. Though the government says, the high surge in number of coronavirus cases is because of their aggressive testing and targeted testing. People are, worrying, seeing the high spike. There were 2,325 patients who were discharged and 16 new COVID-19 deaths were also registered yesterday. So that takes Tamil Nadu's tally at around 90,167 cases and 50,074 people discharged and 1,201 deaths. Now, many experts suggest that the peak in Chennai could start, by July beginning. That is something that has been written in the Times of India article. And other metro cities also, where like Bombay and Delhi, could see the peak by beginning of July. That means the national peak could come by, mid-July. This is what the experts have told Times of India. The government has stepped up their containment measures. The lockdown is still in place. And they are, of course, hoping to bring down the numbers and control the spread of COVID-19 in the state.
All right. Thank you very much, Shilpa, for the moment for joining us with all of those details. Let's now move on and get our viewers the latest from around the world. The big story is what's happening between US and China. China-West fissures deepen. Xi clears Hong Kong law with sweeping powers. UK-Japan voice concern. US halts defense and tech exports. Apart from this, US telecom regulator has declared Huawei and ZTE as security threats. And UK Prime Minister has said must protect infra from hostile state vendors. Then on coronavirus as well, there are a few updates. China study warns of possible pandemic virus from pigs. EU has reopened its border to 15 nations, but it does not include India and the United States of America. UK to test if HCQ can help medical workers. And now talking about the world of sports, my colleague Karishma is joining us on the broadcast for more on this. Karishma, good morning. So what's there today from sports?
Good morning. Have in sports is that IP franchises are looking to actually cut off ties with China. In fact, Times of India is reporting that Kings 11 Punjab owner Ness Wadia has said that, nation comes first. And if that means cutting off or terminating ties with China and Chinese brands, then so be it. Vivo is the title sponsor of the Indian Premier League, and that contract runs up until 2022. So it is interesting to see what the BCCI and the IPL Governing Council are going to decide on this particular matter. In fact, Times of India is reporting a statement by another franchisee owner, which is the Chennai Super Kings, that has said that we will do whatever the government will tell us to do, and that is going to be the consensus amongst to do.
All right.
Instruct.
Thank you very much, Karishma, for the moment for joining us with all of those details. Moving on, as far as the Delhi Times this morning is concerned, so here is an analysis of how those who were on TikTok are reacting after the ban has come of about 59 Chinese apps. And most of the TikTok users and influencers who had millions of followers, they are welcoming this step. And some say that I support the decision by the government. That was Amir Siddiqui with 3.8 million followers. With this, it's a wrap. Thank you for staying with us here on the Newspaper Show.